Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to give you another installment on what I've been doing with my little electric BMX bike scooter thing I've been building, because I've been having some fun with it. Some things I talked about in the last video I got to do. Basically, just program the controller to see if I can get more power. And let me show you how I did it, or what I've been doing so far here. All right, so this is the software, as it were, program that I got with my EM3 EV controller. It's pretty old school executable, and all it really does is it connects to this USB to serial cable here that has a connector that actually plugs into the controller. It's got this little button, like it's like a programming button. It's interesting because I haven't needed to press it yet once, so don't quite know if I'm doing it wrong or whatever. I just want to go over the settings and what I'm doing here. Okay, so let me see if I can. The software comes with these different configurations. This is the one for the 12 4100. The 12 FETs and the 4100 type FET is the model I bought. So when I opened that, it flushed in all the standard values. A lot of these things I'm not even using because they pertain to things like pedal assist sensors and things that I'm, again, not using. But we have things like phase current, radio current. Radio current I've found out is battery current. Low voltage is a low voltage cutout. I'm running a 13S, so 30 volts for low voltage cutout is kind of way too low for me. So that's something I've changed. Tolerance voltage is if it gets down to, in this case, 30 and cuts out, once it cools off a little and gets up to 31, it'll re-enable itself. So that's just like a hysteresis. Regen voltage was 75. I actually thought when I hit regen on my bike, it was a little bit uncomfortably, a little bit of a shock, too much regen. So I'm actually turning that down a little. And then over here, the speed limit was already set to, there's no speed limit, so it's going by current limiting. And it looks, and these are the different, so there's like these different speed switches, or speeds that you can go with, like a little button switch that selects between different pins being grounded or not. And you can select speeds 1, 2, 3, and actually a fourth one. So this is the stock settings, and this is what I was running in my last video. So I was running it at, in theory, 100%, but check it out. This one goes to 11, actually to 12. So I did that, and this controller is interesting. It still went to the 100 speed. I'll show you in a minute. But then after a predetermined amount of time, like 1 second, it does some sort of a crazy boost thing. Field weakening maybe, I don't know, but it was awesome. So I'll totally show you that when I'm running it. There's another thing that I'm turning on, which is this slip charge mode. Turns out that you can set it so that when it sees zero throttle, your hand goes all the way down on the throttle, it'll turn on regen. That's not enabled by default, but I enable it. So really quick, I'll just kind of show you how all this seems to be working. What you do is you click open, file. This is my custom file that I just made, which is that one with my small tweaks. I don't know how much to bump up the current, but I give it an extra 5 amps and an extra 5 amps-ish on both. We'll see what that does. I raised my low voltage cutout because I do want to protect my battery. It should probably even be a little higher, but my battery's trash. So left the tolerance voltage the same. Dropped the regen voltage by a little bit, so it won't hit me quite as hard when I go into regen. I left speed 2 at 75 because I have a little jumper on it that if I pull the jumper out, it goes down to speed 2. And that's kind of like maybe my limp home mode. But I went to the full 120. Who knows? Maybe I could even go higher. I don't know. Probably not. And the speed 4, I don't think I'm using, but just to be sure that I get my power, I threw that at 120 as well. And like I said true on the slip mode. Some of these other things I'm not that interested in even bothering with. So now, so how does it work? Well, again, you plug this in. This shows up on your device manager. Can I do this through my camera? Your device manager, it shows up as super interesting. COM port 6. So go in here, tell it's COM port 6, and here's the process I've been using. Okay, so got the controller plugged in. It's on COM port 6. I make sure the key switch is off. I plug. See if I can do this with one hand. I plug it in. It's not pretty. Oh my gosh. Okay, I plug it in. I don't seem to have to press the button. Turn the key switch on. Note that right now, if I hit the gas, it doesn't do anything. Right? So it's like I think this yellow jumper here put it in programming mode, which is great. Then I cruise over here back to my computer, and I just basically say I get my settings the way I want, and I say start transmit. It says start transmit. And when I'm lucky, it does that little thing and says finished. Then I just say stop transmit. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the key off. I don't know if that's necessarily not, but I'll do it. And then I'll disconnect that. And now I've reprogrammed this controller to my new favorite settings. Now I got my battery connected over here. And I'm going to go drive this in a minute, and I'll add that to the video. But check this out. Turn it on, and at full speed, that is way higher than I've ever had it. And also, when you go to zero, when you turn off the throttle, it'll do regen. Watch, coasting, and regen. So I don't even really need this brake switch anymore. I know it's a safety thing, but I don't care about safety, so I'm probably going to go ahead and take that off. I like as few wires as I can get. Okay, so anyway, that's kind of a quick little tutorial on how this thing worked. The other thing I did today, since I'm kind of bored and having a fun Saturday, is I decided I like this little ammeter thing. Want to keep it here. Don't really need it to be duct taped on. So I went into Fusion, and I did this little holder, right? So as you can see, fits perfectly right in the holder, right? And I'm just ooh, Tesla. Had to show off my Tesla. I'm just printing it right now. So that's cool. Maybe about another hour and a half, and that'll be done. I will slam that on the bike, and I will make sure the battery is fully charged. And we will go out and we will see how many amps of current we draw. And I'll do a pretty intense power run, and then I'll hurry back up the driveway, and I'll use my heat gun to measure how hot everything got, battery, controller, and motor, and then I'll make a decision. Can I go even higher on it? So that's the plan, and I think I'll probably put that in this same video. It can be a long video. The other thing I'll be working on soon is the new battery. I got it all put together, but I got to start soldering it. I just barely started that. So same 13S, but these are much better cells that I have in my junk battery right now. And of course, I've got 12 in parallel, so it should handle just probably twice as much current as this one is able to handle. And this one seems to be holding up okay, except that it doesn't last very long. So that'll be video for another day. All right, so close your eyes and blink, and we're going to have the controller or the amp meter installed, and we're going to take it for a ride. Here we go. Okay, it's a beautiful morning. Last night I finished up the print of the amp meter holder. It looks pretty good. It didn't come out as well as the design was bad. It actually cracked right here. I should have made it at least twice as thick, so that's a improvement for next time. But it's holding on nice and tight. I kind of taped it up and tightened it all down. So what I care about now is seeing how much current we're going to get out of our 53 volts. So let's go for it. We're going to do the power run right this minute. Oh, have to turn it on first. Yeah, the voltage gauge is always on. I'm going to rewire it maybe later today so that it only turns on with the key switch. But take two here. Let's see what this thing does. Okay. Well, it's getting to the point where I got enough power that I can't just ride around with one hand anymore. It's gonna get me to crash. So I'll stop it here. But yeah, that looks like about 2,200 watts. That's certainly more than last time. And you know, I can program it for more. Let's do it. Kind of hit a stopping point here because my battery voltage is really seeming to dip a lot when I'm starting to use this like 30 amps worth of current. And that's because I have really crummy batteries. So I want to finish my other battery before I do any more testing. It's got better cells and there's going to be a lot more of them. So I think it'll provide current better. So what do I know right now? The Infineon controller seems pretty programmable. And certainly, from what my gauge says, when I program it for more current, it gives the more current. I certainly haven't hit any kind of a limit there other than my battery. So I'll be really interested to understand some more of these parameters better, like the blocking time. I've read that people are concerned about blocking time. It doesn't seem like something I'd want to use, but I should probably know more about it. And definitely I need to know more about the fact that you can set phase amps and you can set battery amps. I would think that one would follow from the other, but they're both settable parameters. So if one of my 6 viewers here knows anything about that, feel free to throw that in the comments. But yeah, so it might be a little bit of time, but the next video I'll probably have a slightly revised setup, and I'm gonna definitely do more playing with the parameters and see how high I can go with this controller and this motor. So watch for that.